we're shooting the film on HD, that is in digital high definition, rather than on film. And that gives you certain capabilities, and it also saddles you with certain disadvantages.
You get people who come in and say, I'm going to shoot in high def, and you realize they've never lit that way before, they've never shot that way before, they don't realize the limitations, because it's not just the advantages that you have for shooting in high def, there are limitations as well.
There's things you can do with film, just like you can do with video. You've just got to have the right people to do it with. And that's what was good about Mark and Brian. They wanted to push the envelope.
Their look is frenetic. It's incredibly dynamic. There's a lot of movement, but it goes beyond that. And it goes into the actual quality of the video that they're shooting. And they're big video fanatics, which is sort of refreshing, because most of the times that I shoot with people, you're shooting with people who are shooting HD maybe because they can't afford film, or they view it as something that should look just like film.
The main advantage is that you actually have, in effect, your laboratory on the set. We have a digital image technician named Nick Theodorakis, who I've actually worked with before. He also worked on Miami Vice. And he is able to adjust the aperture, that is the brightness, the color, the crispness, 15 different axes of adjustments to the image on the fly.
High definition's a new sort of tool, and you know, it's not film, but it's not video. It's its own beast, and it needs, you know, it's developing still. So you can break new ground with new looks, and whereas everybody always thinks to try and soften it up, make it look very filmic, which you can do, they wanted a much harder sort of look to it.
Which is so great, because we could develop a sort of look that is not quite film, it's not quite traditional video or HD. It's something that is just crank. It's something that is, you know, a Neville Dean Taylor look.
So you want the right people shooting in high def. With them, thank God they were, because if we'd been shooting film, we'd be out of business, bankrupt. You know, they just left the cameras running. I mean, you know, the B-roll is, you know, after cut is longer than, you know, what they were shooting in every scene. That was funny. That was great.
That's cut.
Well, this is one of the major reasons why we wanted to use HD, aside from the look, was that the cameras, first of all, the tape doesn't cost you anything. So unlike film, where you're just burning money every time you press go on the camera, in this case you can just roll all day if you want to, and the only person that it pisses off is the editor, who's got to go through all the footage.
The editors are a little flummoxed by it, because we've had to go out and keep getting more and more memory, and each time we think, okay, my gosh, we couldn't possibly fill up all these drives. Well, a week later we have, and we have to get some more.
You know, and also the camera's not noisy. There's nothing that tells the actors that the camera's rolling, so they never know. So they kind of always have to be on, and even when they're not, you know, you're still getting really sort of honest reactions.
They couldn't shoot enough of it for me. I mean, I'd love to go back tomorrow and, you guys want to reshoot something? Let's do it, you know? And so there really was never a starting or a stopping.
When we were putting this film together, and dailies were coming in, and Mike Pasternak and I were shuttling back and forth to the set, and all of a sudden he comes running into my office and he said, "Did you see those dailies from the other day?" I'm like, "Yeah, with the chase with Jason on the motorcycle." I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Could you believe that?" And of course I went immediately to what I thought he was talking about. I'm like, "Yeah, Jason's ass was hanging out. What are we gonna do about that?" And he goes, No. And he goes, "How'd they get those crisscrossing shots?"
When we first started shooting, you know, one of the first stupid ideas we had is that Mark was like this kind of like stupidly good rollerblader. Like, he was one of these guys who could just like skate backwards on one leg, and like he could basically just do anything on rollerblades, and he was on rollerblades half the time anyway. It's not a gay thing when he does it, really. It's not. So one of the first things we did was put a camera in his hand on rollerblades, and we started getting this incredible footage that nobody had ever really seen before.
He's madder than me, and I knew that he was going to be chasing me around on rollerblades, and I saw their show reel, so I knew they'd be getting all kinds of crazy new shots that you've never seen, and you know, they brought this freestyle, freeform sort of camera operating technique that I've never seen.
It's very difficult to do anything new in this game now, because everybody's done something everywhere else. And I have never seen or heard, or, you know, I've never seen anything like that. And anyone I tell about it, they're like, no, do you know what I mean? You'll hang on to the back of a motorbike, get up to speed, let go, you know, and careen down the road at unbelievable speed.
It's funny, we used to do a lot of stuff with shooting like extreme motorcycle videos and stuff with Mark on rollerblades, like going with a motorcycle. We do a little bit of that in Crank, but it used to make us laugh all the time because like these skate kids and stuff would see us do that and go like, man, that shit looks cool. We gotta try that. And they'd always try. We would leave, and then they'd always try to do it, and we kept getting these calls like, can you guys come back and shoot for us again? Because like dude tried to do it and broke his leg. I mean, there's probably like 5 guys in the hospital because like Mark like kind of makes it look easy because he's like this stupidly good skater, but like these other guys like try to do it, and there's probably like 5 guys in the hospital because they try to do those same shots that we used to do.
I feel bad about it. Those guys who tried to.
But not really.
Yeah. I mean, they try to copy, and that's what happens.
These guys are on, on roller skates, rollerblades, shooting their own shots, and it's like there was just a sense of fun to how they were putting this film together, but also, what they were going to deliver as a finished product just didn't look like anything else.
Just had an energy and a movement, and it was organic, and it wasn't so shaky handheld that it disturbed you or took you out of the the scene.
As they pitched us, you always think that you're going to get like 50% of what the pitch will be is what the execution is going to be, but with them it was like every shot was kind of new.